Press Start Podcast.
And welcome back to the Press Start Podcast. This is episode number 126, and I'm your host, Vic, aka Mr. Never Chillin'. And this week, I do welcome back my co-host, Roger, aka Lunatic Oblivion.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Welcome back, my friend. As everybody can see, it's just the two of us this week due to Scott,
Just
aka
the two of us.
Scooby One did get married yesterday, so congratulations to him. I know he's probably either hungover right now or just, celebrating and enjoying the time. So hopefully we see him next week, but only time will tell. But anything happen exciting for you over the past week at all?
Not really. No.
No, just been hanging out, chilling.
Just been chilling, dude. It's honestly what I've been doing every week.
For sure.
Playing games. Ain't that the thing?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a second, yeah. But just an update on my pink eye. Obviously, I had pink eye on last episode, and it kind of developed into a throat infection, and it's been miserable this past week, honestly, like dealing with that and whatnot. So, no fun.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a barrel of monkeys to me, dude. Does not sound like a fun time at all.
Yeah, definitely not. But nonetheless, you were talking about how you've been playing games this week. Let's go ahead and talk about your list, because your list is probably more exciting than mine. Mine is kind of more like that games as a service feel. As much as I hate it, like all four of my games are really games as a service that I'm playing this week. But yeah, man. So, hey, we do appreciate the subscription there, Disney Princess. But Roger, Tales of Arise, I'm curious to see where you're at with this one. Is it still playing really well? Tell me what's going on.
It plays well, but it's just like I got into Final Fantasy VII, like truly started to feel like Final Fantasy is a game I want to play, and I started playing it. And honestly, it's starting to feel a lot better. Like I hate lately that all these games are like open world. Every time you turn around, it's goddamn open world. Like Jesus Christ. But this one actually doesn't feel bad. Like after I got done with a little bit of the open world, I missed a small piece. I was like, I think I enjoy this. I think I'm having a lot of fun with this right now. And Tales of Arise got backburnered because of it. It just I just having a ton of fun.
Yeah, that's dope. So on my list, obviously one of them is Halo Infinite's multiplayer, which me and you have been playing a ton of lately. And dude, it feels great to be back in Halo. Like we say it all the time. Like Halo is the reason why I have an Xbox. Like that's the reason why
I play shooters. Like it's literally the reason I play shooter games.
And what is so great, like we were talking about it today. You're like, man, it feels so great, and I was like, yeah, because it actually feels like Halo. Like the last couple iterations, like Halo 4 and Halo 5, did not really feel like Halo. But like this is feeling fucking phenomenal, and it's a lot of fun because we got a ton of friends hopping in, playing with us. Like it's been great, honestly. But on the other coin here, Microsoft's other shooter, Call of Duty, I've been popping in, playing some multiplayer and some Modern Warfare 3, and really I just hop in and I complete my 3 daily challenges and I hop out. Like that's all I ever do. Like it's not even enough. And the thing is, I usually complete those 3 challenges in one game. So I'm like, all right, cool. See you tomorrow. Like I don't like. There's
See you tomorrow.
Because like,
thanks. Bye.
Because like you can't really unlock anything in the game unless you do the daily challenges. And I'm like, okay, I complete the daily challenges, unlock whatever I did, and I'm like, okay, there's nothing to unlock. That's it. I'm hopping off. And like, yeah, you can continue to do your daily challenge by winning games to unlock this shit, but I'm like, nah. I have no trust in my random ass teammates that I'm playing with to win a game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, I'm good. I hop in, do my daily challenges, unlock a couple things.
Move on with life, yeah.
Yeah. But other game, though, that I've been playing is obviously the Division 2, and I'm just enjoying it. Like, the game is just an overall, like, great experience. And, like, thinking about it, like, I beat the game when it first dropped. So, like, going through it now, like, it plays differently than when it first came out. And, like, the variety of missions that are in the game is actually refreshing. Because we all know how the Ubisoft is, like, more, like, copy and paste, like, do the same thing at all times, but like to me there's so much variety that's going on in the game, which makes it fun. And then like all the little like when you go around, you could pick up cell phones and like you listen to phone calls that happen in the past, and they're like talking about like what led up to the collapse of
the end of the fucking world.
Yeah, the collapse of the world. So like that's been pretty cool to listen to. Then they have like they're called echoes, so it's like one of those like it like showcases like what was actually going on in this certain area. And that's pretty cool. Like, I just love the lore that the Division has, and just having a hell of a time playing it. And I just love that I can play for 5-10 minutes. I can just go do like a really quick like public event or like a control point as opposed to a side mission or a main mission just for a few minutes.
Mhm.
Or I can be diving in for a few hours. So that's definitely been the highlight for me for that game.
Mhm.
Roger, you've been playing some more MTGA. I know you were playing a little bit today when we were playing some Halo. Is that still fun as ever, or is it getting dry? Like, what's going on?
I mean, the biggest problem with MTGA is like so many other card games, especially card games that you play online where all the cards are always available all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You fight the same decks over and 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 over.
Yeah.
Like,
It kind of gets boring, and I guess after a certain
yeah,
point.
after a while, I'm like, I've fought the 100th black, blue, white deck, and it's like, cool, awesome. And then you play a blue, white guy, and he's like, you would like to play the game? Yes. Will I let you? No. And then I actually just, like, I made somebody really fucking mad in the last game I played where they just sit there and they let the timer run out because they're so pissed at me. Like, I played a black, blue, white deck, and I out controlled his deck, and he was like, oh, fuck this game, man.
Damn.
Like, it feels good to make somebody else quit the game
Right. And
when they play some.
speaking
Yeah,
of
go ahead.
speaking of TCG, like obviously the Star Wars Unlimited just dropped on the 8th couple of days ago, and it was funny because I hit Card Stadium basically as soon as they opened. I went in there and bought my shit, and then like you called me a few hours later. You're like, "Yo, I'm at Card Stadium. They got the Star Wars shit." I'm like, "Dude, I already got it," and
Yeah.
super excited
Like,
to check it out because like it's really cool. Like the cards look really fucking dope, and I actually cracked a card that's apparently worth like $90 or like $95 already. So I'm like, "Fuck yeah, like this is dope," and like
hope
even
it
if
stays that way.
like even if the game isn't like a playable like something like I want to keep playing, I'm a huge
Yeah.
Star Wars nerd and I would love to collect a Star Wars like collection because like they already have like 7 sets already like announced basically, and they're from like different timelines from Star Wars, and I'm like, I need more already. Like this shit just dropped, and I'm like, I need more. I need fucking SpongeBob, dude. We were at the wedding yesterday, and we started doing the chocolates. What you say?
What?
Selling chocolates? Like yeah, SpongeBob dude's insane. But yeah, I'm actually curious. So like, if Star Wars Unlimited does take off, like I could see Disney spinning it into like having a mobile version as well, like MTGA it has.
Well, they already have, like, Disney is like, the card games are where it's at. They see the writing on the wall. Disney has now got 4 card games in the work, whether they're digital or not. They've got
Right.
Lorcana, they've got Star Wars. This is the second iteration of the Star Wars. We've got, what else do we have here? We've got so many different card games
I
lately
mean, I
coming
guess you
from
got
Disney.
Marvel
Lorcana.
Snap. Marvel Snap,
Yeah, Snap.
technically, even though it's not a physical game at all yet. I'm surprised it isn't, but I'm sure they're
Yeah.
probably thinking it up. But last game on my list, Forza Horizon 5. Again, I'm really just hopping in because I just love, like, obviously you played Forza Horizon 5, a lot of it, and the seasonal stuff that just rotates through is just, it's so dope. It makes the game refreshing, and being able to unlock certain things, like certain cars or emotes or outfits and shit like that. It's all themed around it. Like when I played that the Lunar New Year one, that was a badass event. Like it's always fun to just hop in and just do stupid shit in the game because like some of the challenges around the seasonal content isn't just racing. It's like go to this spot and take a picture. I love photography. I go ham at trying to get the perfect angle and the lighting and shit. Or it's like here's a treasure hunt. Go here and then you got to do X, Y, and Z, and then you get a treasure chest and you get like 100,000 credits. I'm like, let's go. Or it's like, okay, you need to go 200 and some miles per hour with this like rinky dink car off this ramp, and it's like once you do that, then you can complete the challenge. And I'm like, okay, let's see how I'm gonna do that. And then you have to like tune the fucking car, and then usually people have like preset tunings that you can just like automatically install, and you're just like, I have like a little punch buggy and I'm going like 300 miles per hour. This doesn't seem like it's real.
This shit ain't real.
But yeah, overall, man, that's again another game you hop in for a few minutes and just fuck around and hop back out. I love it. I'm looking forward to the next Forza Horizon game because like I've already beaten Forza Horizon 5's like main content of the game. Like every race in the game has already been done, already first place, everything, nothing else to do. So it's like looking forward to the next iteration, which we may get announced this year or maybe announced next year. Only time will tell. But yeah, man. This is actually a pretty solid week for game releases. I'm not sure if you saw the post that I dropped into our Discord chat. I think there's like 10. No, it might be more games than that. I'm tripping. There's probably like 15 games, I think. And honestly, like the only one that's really like standing out to me is like Star Wars. It comes out, the Battlefront Classic Collection, which I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like I'm looking forward to that shit. But obviously, Contra Operation Galuga is coming back out again. That looks pretty cool. Something that seemed interesting is Cartel Tycoon is coming out, and I'm like, okay, that seems pretty dope. And then you got the lawn mowing simulator finally coming to the Switch. So anybody who's looking to mow some lawns on your couch, you got something coming for you. And then Outcast: A New Beginning actually seems pretty interesting. It's like a next generation game because it's only for the PS5, the Series X and S, and PC. This one's been kind of on my radar, so I'm going to see how it reviews, and if it holds up pretty well, I might end up scooping that. It's an open world sci-fi fantasy action adventure game where you explore a living alien world and fight with outstanding special powers. So anything sci-fi.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously no reviews or anything are out right now, but hopefully it's, I mean, because I feel like this is going to be a smaller game compared to like anything that's pretty big. The developers of Appeal Studios, which not really too familiar with. It's produced by THQ Nordic, so at least it's published by a bigger known company. But outside of that, they don't really have too many like bigger games. Like they did Escape Game, Fort Beyond, and then Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back in 2020. So they don't really have too much of a big game. So this is definitely out of their zone,
Their comfort zone.
Yeah. So we'll see. Any games that are coming out that you're excited for? Or is it just pretty much the Star Wars one?
Honestly, nothing really truly excites me this week on the video games. Even the Star Wars, I'm like, it's nifty, but I don't really see myself spending the money right now.
Yeah, fair enough. So we'll see. I plan to buy it. I'm gonna grab it on Steam because it doesn't support crossplay, and I know most people that are going to have it that buy this collection are going to play it on Steam. Like, because I know Marshmallow is super excited. I know Scott is excited for it. I'm excited for it. I know if we're playing it, you're gonna be like, you'll probably give in like fuck
maybe. Yeah, like honestly, yeah. If everyone starts playing it, maybe. But like for the most part, I want to just get some more Halo in all the time. I don't know why. I can't stop playing it lately.
Right. I feel you. Halo's been a lot of fun, and actually, I have never played Infinite's campaign in the cooperative experience. So maybe one of these days we can give that a go. Maybe even play it on Legendary if we're feeling ballsy.
Yeah, maybe we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. But without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the industry news because we do got some pretty solid updates to some of the stuff that we've been following lately. All right, man. So if you want to kick it off here with a quick update in regards to Nintendo for us.
Yeah, so last week we talked about Yuzu getting sued by Nintendo, and now we're hearing that Yuzu has completely given all demands to Nintendo. So they asked for pretty much everything, like their entire house. They were like, "Sorry, you're homeless now," and Yuzu's like, "Yep, thanks, we're homeless." They have folded and gave everything to Nintendo, all $2.4 million.
Right. And what did I say was going to happen? What did I say in last week's episode? Like, Nintendo's basically going to buy the emulation like software, and they're going to use this somehow in the future. I know it's going to happen.
I don't know. I feel like they're not going to.
I just feel like it's going to help them with like the Switch 2 to be able to run like some of the older stuff on the new Switch. So that would be my thinking, because like we're always talking about like game preservation, and like the world is starting to realize like, yeah, we need to start to have a way to play.
You want to be
games.
able to play them,
right? Like,
yeah.
We understand like closing the digital market, like the store, but like if you just have one digital market that always stays open at all times, like it's just the Nintendo marketplace or the Xbox marketplace. It's not specific to one console or one generation of games. That's where it's going to be successful. Because like look at Steam. Like Steam's been around for how long? And like you can play games that like originally came out on Steam when Steam first opened.
Oh, you mean like you can literally play Half-Life 1?
Right. It's crazy, right? Like
Yeah.
that's where we need to get
100%.
at with the consoles, the console platform as well. Because like we run into it all the time with like the older ones closing down. You don't have access to this, don't have access to that. Some games were only available via digital, so then now you can't even get that game anymore. We're getting more away from physical games altogether, so it's like, you got to figure out what we're doing here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, 2.4 million, and basically handed over their kidney
Everything.
and their shoulder. You know,
And their left spleen.
yeah, yeah, craziness. But how about an even crazier story this week? Because I put 3 different news articles into the fucking chat because of following the quick updates throughout the week. First, Apple terminated Epic's Games app developer account following Epic's announcement that they're bringing their own app store to the iOS marketplace in the EU. Apple claims that Epic Games is a quote verifiable untrustworthy. Okay,
Okay.
sure, but
Of course they are.
obviously like this lawsuit that was going on for such a long time, like EU was like, okay, my Apple, you win the lawsuit, but you have to allow side loading apps like app stores and shit on your marketplace. Okay, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously this is only happening in the EU, so EU was like, why did you prevent them from doing that? Because then that goes against everything that we decided in the lawsuit. And Apple was like, well, shit. So then
Oh, damn, we fucked up.
so after the EU questions Apple for their decision, Epic Games was then unbanned by Apple after a swift inquiry by the EU. So I was like, okay, at least they figured that shit out.
It didn't
Everyone
last
was like,
long.
they're like, Fortnite never on the iPhone. Fortnite's back, guys. Just like in a fucking week. All right, man. So I did not attach any names to this last point here, but I'll just cover it real quick because I know you're not a huge fan of the series, but I forgot this was even going to happen. But Watch Dogs had a movie that was going to happen that was announced 10 years ago. And apparently it's still happening because they finally decided who their lead character is going to be played by, and it's by Sophie Wilde.
Mhm.
Originally, this movie is supposed to be developed by or produced by Sony Pictures, and it's no longer doing so. And it's being produced by New Regency. The director is Matteo Turi, who is known for like The Deep Dark or Hostile, and I think he was also like a co-producer on like The Inglourious Basterds. So he has a little bit of a track record there. And then also a fun fact, he's also the main director for the upcoming TV series based on the game Plague Tale, like Plague Tale Innocence and Plague Tale Requiem, which are both solid ass games. So we'll see, man. We'll see how this turns out, because this could be a dope movie, because we know like the concept of Watch Dogs is pretty cool. It's just like what they did with the game, especially with Watch Dogs Legion. That was a disaster of a mess, but yeah, this could be a good movie. We'll see.
Maybe.
Big M, maybe. But yeah, man, that is all of our industry news that we got for you guys this week. But we do got a large gaming news segment, so we'll go ahead and move on to that right now. All right, guys, kicking it off here with Xbox, of course. They did have an event over the last week, and it was kind of like a surprise announcement when they were like, hey, we're going to have an event. And it was an Xbox partner preview, and this was actually a really, really solid showcasing of like a lot of the third-party stuff that's about to be coming out over the next few months. They kicked it off with Final Fantasy 14 online. Obviously, the game was on Xbox and available like game preview, but now the full game will be releasing on March 21st, so 11 days away. But what's interesting though is that, Roger, you even point out, like, I know we're talking about a different game later on, but like the expansions, like more of the content will be available as well, basically for free if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, because it'll be available via perks. So you'll be able to get the starter edition if you have that on as a perk. So that's pretty badass.
And I've been looking to play this game a little bit. Like, I played it originally, and I was like, this is what we need for WoW. This is like what WoW needs to do. And then
I'm sure it's coming.
Final Fantasy's like, we did it first.
And I'm sure that this is like a test for Microsoft to see how well this plays out.
Mm-hmm.
And then like if it does really well, they're gonna be like, WoW also part of it, but Game Pass, it's like $25 now.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Next up we had Kunitsu Gami, Path of the Goddess. This is Capcom's new upcoming game. And what was pretty cool is that they announced that this is coming to Game Pass day one. Comes out later this year. It says this is a unique single-player game set in the Japanese-inspired universe. First revealed back in June last year's Xbox Showcase. And it was like when we first saw the trailer, like, what is this? And like, but we still got we got like a better trailer, got to see some gameplay and whatnot. So looks pretty cool, and it's coming to Series X and S and Windows PC this year. Um, and I was trying to see if there's anything else that was interesting to cover in that article, but nothing really. Next up, we got a new game reveal, which was awesome. We get to see The Sinking City 2 Rises from the Deep. Didn't even know there was a first one, to be honest with you. But
Doesn't that happen with like every game? You're like, wait, this is the second one?
right, and you're like,
When did we have the first one?
exactly.
Did I miss something?
Right. So it got its world premiere during the show. It's like a Lovecraftian city of Arkham. There's very unpleasant sights within it. Says the long-awaited sequel from Frogwares is evolving into a full-on horror game as you guide a new character through the mysteries of why Arkham is flooding and take on some of the abominable residents along the way. So I mean, the gameplay or like the trailer we saw looked pretty solid. Seemed interesting, but I'm like curious, like, okay, well, what the fuck happened in the first game? Like it makes me like curious, and sometimes like games that weren't as big then get like this recognition now. It makes you go back to like it kind of boosts revenue back to that first game. So we'll see. Big one here though for you, Roger. Persona 3 Reload. The expansion pass was announced, and it was pretty cool to see them announce it at the Xbox preview event, like being on the Xbox platform. But the great part here is another one is like basically the expansion pass is free for anybody who has Xbox Game Pass Ultimate via also the perks, and that's badass. Like, like this is fucking dope. But it's really awesome though to see like they're bringing like because Persona 3 had like so many different versions of the game. There was so much DLC added to the game later on to each version of the game, and now they're trying to find a way to culminate the full entire collection, and that seems like what they're kind of doing here with the expansion pass. So shout out to Sega there. Surprise one here though, Roger. So obviously we know Stalker 2 has been in like turmoil because of the whole Ukraine war with Russia, and has been delayed several times, but I guess basically to hold us over is that they announced the Stalker Legends of the Zone trilogy, which is basically a collection of the 3 previous games, which I didn't know there were 3 to begin with. I thought there was really only one.
Yeah.
Because Stalker 2 is coming out, so like that's pretty interesting there.
Well, maybe it's treated like a way to think about it. Maybe it's treated like a whole collection of like DLC or episodes.
Yeah, like part 1, part 2. But no, yeah. So this one brings the cult classic Shadow Chernobyl, Clear Sky, and Call Pripyat. I probably butchered that. But it's all available, and it actually shadow dropped as well. This was another shadow drop from Xbox, and it became available. It's also available on PlayStation and PC, Steam as well. The you can buy them. I think it's like $15 or $20 individually, but if you buy the trilogy together, you save like $20. So I actually might give it a go. And a lot of these were actually exclusive to the PC only when they first came out. So it'll be the first time they've ever been on console. All right. Next one here is Unknown 9 Awakening Surprises. This is a new exclusive gameplay from Bandai Namco and Reflector Entertainment. This basically reintroduces us to the game because it was announced a while ago. This gives us a fresh look at the exciting worlding, showing off the hero Haruna, played by Anya Charlotra. Probably butchering that name, I'm sorry. But yo, this game actually looked pretty good. I'm gonna see if I can get the trailer up on screen here real quick for anybody who has not seen this yet. Roger, have you seen the trailer for this at all?
No, not yet.
Okay.
This one I haven't watched.
Yeah, so yeah, there was a lot of interesting games I like at this showcase. I'm trying to just talk over it just so we're not sitting here in silence. But like the showcase, we're gonna dive in. There's like a ton more games that were there, but the variety that were there, like we're gonna see, you're gonna be like, man, there is a game for everybody. But I really like this one.
As long as the games perform well.
Right, that's definitely what it comes down to. This one here though seemed really interesting because I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and like this has a lot of like Assassin's Creed vibes, like with the stealth, and apparently there's assassinations and different takes to it as well. Some of the parkour, obviously Assassin's Creed is known for like the parkour as well, so this may as well be at my alley. I really hope this is a game that comes to Game Pass. I don't think that has been confirmed if it is or not just yet, but and there's like obviously you can see like she has some mystic powers and time bending shit, but it looks pretty cool. to say the least. But like you said, if it performs well and has like no issues, no bugs, no ground like game breaking bugs, that this could be a really solid game when it does come out. Which I don't know if they have an official time. Yeah, summer 2024, so it is right around the corner. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to highlight some of the games that stood out to me because I watched the showcase live. Next up, they did an in-depth gameplay trailer for Tales of Kinzera Zao. This is a game that we saw at last year's summer showcase. This is the one where it was talking about like dealing with grief. Like the developer is actually telling the story of like losing his own father, but it's all set in like the ancient African culture, and it's pretty cool. It's very reminiscent of the game that I actually put on Paul, is Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown. It's a Metroidvania style. Like you gain abilities. He has a mask that he wears that was his father's, which is like the mask of the sun, mask of the moon, and it's like a double mask that you can put on, so it helps you like influence the world around you and just maneuver the world. So looks pretty cool. This game comes out next month, April 23rd, 2024, and it's definitely on my radar. I'm gonna see how it performs and see if it's worth giving it a go, because like I don't want another Prince of Persia because that game pissed me off. But if this is a shorter experience, nothing that's going to be over the top, this could be a really solid game.
Then it sounds good.
Yeah, this could be a really solid game. When I tell you that there was a little bit of everything at this preview showcase, Roblox made an appearance, right? But in a very, very crazy way. Yes. Chucky, right? The scary doll is ready to bring a bloody good time to the world of Roblox, it says. It says Rocket Ride Games and Universal products and experiences revealed Griefville survived the nightmare. So it's an experience where it's like a chilling interactive experience inspired by the classic horror films from the 80s and 90s with the movie icon Chucky. So yeah, I was like, what in the hell? Like between like Fortnite and Roblox, like those are two massive like universes that just cross over with whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Roger, we have Pokemon, we have Temtem, we have Power World. Now we're getting Creatures of Ava. And it was funny because they were throwing jab at Power World here. They were like, if you don't want to kill all the cute creatures in the world, how about you save them in our game? Because apparently like this is like one of those like creature collecting kind of game similar to it. But the idea is like you're trying to save them because of the world's like falling apart and whatnot in the world. And there's like a variety of different ecosystems. There's a life-consuming infection that's going on, so it kind of gives me like, if you remember the game The Gunk was like a smaller indie game that I know I played and beat. I know Marshmallow did as well. Much smaller experience. So yeah, okay. And yeah, you remember it was an affected world that you cleaned up. So I wonder if like we're gonna have some kind of mechanic where we have to clean up the world, but then also like save all the different creatures. So we'll see how that goes. And it's pretty cool. Excuse me. That like Microsoft is becoming like this creature collecting platform now, like what Nintendo was known for with Pokemon. Like that was the platform if you wanted to play that type of game, but now Xbox is going to have more of them, so that's pretty cool. And boy, when I tell you, like, I'm not kidding, when there was a variety of games. Next game here was a new game reveal, right? You got a new Monster Jam Showdown. So if you're interested into the monster cars, there's a new game for you, man. And I remember like back in the day, like when there was like tons of games like this between this or like ATV, off-road, like the four-wheelers, like they were all like, it was just huge, the motocross stuff. And it's pretty cool to see that they're kind of making like a resurgence. And interesting enough, there was a monster truck show, I think in Harrisburg this week. It was at the farm show, if I'm not mistaken. So nice little tie in there.
Didn't even know.
Yeah. All right, next game I do want to highlight this one. This one is called The Altars, and this game looks fucking sick. This is from the creators of the War and Frostpunk, which I think you said you were excited for Frostpunk because obviously we're going to talk about
The
Frostpunk
Altars,
too.
we saw this preview originally, and it actually looked really cool when I first saw it because it was like, did we see it in last year's what was it, last year's summer games?
Probably,
but the idea was like you're going around with a bunch of your clones.
Yes. it's so cool because like we're getting like Fallout Shelters vibes where like that wheel like you can modify. It's like each room does something different, but then like you can
Hmm.
come off of that and you can go and explore like in the third person perspective. And then like there's that resource like that mineral or whatever that you can collect that he uses to create alternate versions of himself. But like then you're at like basically war with yourself because some of them have different ideas and what they want to do
Yeah.
and goals that they want to accomplish. So then like you're in that constant battle with yourself technically. But it's set in a really beautiful alien type looking world. But I was like, I really enjoy this concept and the fact that we got to see a little bit more deep dive into like gameplay as opposed to just being like a cinematic trailer. That was pretty dope.
And it looks really cool.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like, this is the kind of game that excites me.
yeah, I'm with you on that. I just love like being able to explore, but then being able to go back to your base or whatever
Hmm.
vehicle it is, and now you're customizing it and coming up with it. Like it seems pretty dope, honestly. I wonder if there's like any combat in it though, like any kind of like adrenaline, or is it just like a walking sim basically? And you're collecting resources,
Yeah.
maybe some puzzles here and there. But yeah, I love the concept that you're creating alternate versions of yourself. Like that's a pretty dope ass concept. Yeah, I think it's like a three minute long trailer, so I'm not really gonna play like the whole thing. But like the character details look pretty badass too. Like I wonder,
Hmm.
I can't remember if this is running on Unreal Engine 5 or not. It almost looks like it is. But yeah, overall, we could say that me and you are definitely really excited for that game to come out.
Yeah. It looks good.
And I don't think we have any announcement on timeline as of yet. But that is coming out of 11-bit Studios, and they brought another game to the this preview, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But next up, we got first Berserker Kazan. I think we also saw this at last year's summer showcase, if I'm not mistaken. This is kind of like a Souls like game, I think, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. Bring this one up here on screen because this is another big one that I know a lot of people are looking forward to checking out. Some of it's like showing story, but yeah, it's very gruesome as you can see. The combat seems pretty intense, and honestly, it looks like a pretty badass game. And it has like a very interesting like visual aesthetic. Like the world looks really like realistic, but then like your character design looks almost like anime style, if you know what I
Hmm.
mean. But yeah, then the creatures look pretty cool as well. Like they're extremely detailed, and it seems like there's a good variety. Does this game like pique your interest? Like, does this go on your wish list?
Like, the thing lately is I just don't have all the money to spend on all these games, man. But it looks good. It looks good, but I've been fooled before by Souls likes. They're
That's for
always
sure.
like, yeah, look, check out this game. And it's like, yeah, it looks cool. But like, is it gonna play well? Like,
Right. Yeah. No. Don't think there's any confirmation on the release window for that one yet. One that did get a confirmed release time or release date is Frostpunk 2, the other game from 11-bit Studios. This is coming to PC Game Pass day and date on July 24th. So Roger, I think you said that you were excited for the Frostpunk
mhm.
games, right? So let's get that trailer up here for you. This one's only about a minute, so it'll be pretty quick. Did you ever play the first one?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I can't beat it.
Can't beat it. What happened? That hard, or
Game's
did it
fucking
like a?
hard, dude.
Okay.
Game's hard as shit. Like, you're like 3, 4, 17 hours into the game, and they're like, okay, so this is win or lose right here. And you're like, What?" And they're like, "You win or lose in this moment right now."
Oh damn. Yeah, that seems pretty
Okay,
crazy.
I guess I lose.
Damn. Is there like a difficulty level that you can adjust at all?
Uh, yes, I guess you could turn it down to like super easy,
Yeah, I
but
mean, if you wanted to get through it and beat it, just so like you could say
mhm.
you beat it and get to the next one here. But there you are, man. July 25th this year, coming to PC Game Pass day one. It's pretty nice to see though that PC Game Pass is getting some love too. Obviously, like a lot of the games come to cloud, console, and PC, but like
Mhm.
every once in a while you get like that solid PC game, PC exclusive game that comes to that specific game. Like which one? It was interesting though to see that what was it Death Stranding came to PC Game Pass for like a few months, but it never claimed a console. But that's like more of a console game because it was a PlayStation exclusive. So that one definitely a curious one. All right, man. Last game here on the list was also another one that piqued my fucking interest. This one is called Sleight of Hand. This is another new game announcement. This is the first time that we have ever seen it. This is another one that deals with like the whole card aspect of a game. Like you play cards depending on like your situation. This is more of like a cinematic kind of game like trailer. You're not really seeing any gameplay yet, but they basically shows like your character. Like you can see here, she's bringing out cards. One of them says like smoke bomb, and like she's using it to get closer to her enemy, and then she lays a trap with this one. Like I'm curious to see how this plays because like I played Lost in Random, which was kind of like a card based game with a die as well. And that one was kind of more of like a in real time kind of play as opposed to being like a turn based. So I'm really curious to see how this one plays out. And I kind of like the aesthetic of this game too. It's not like over the top. It's not like completely hyper realistic. It does not have like that anime style look that I'm against. But I love the whole like noir kind of feeling, like the shadiness, the looks pretty good though. Third person, and it's coming to Game Pass. Another Game Pass game that we'll be able to check out. So Game Pass is smoking, man, with a lot of great games that are coming out over the next year or so. And then obviously we got the summer game showcase later this year that I'm sure they're gonna reveal some new shit. So we'll see. But moving on though, from the event to some Xbox related news. I probably could have thrown this in industry news, but I don't know why not here. Microsoft confirms that a Russian hacker known as the Midnight Blizzard gained access to source code in internal systems. They did confirm that there was no damage or concerns for any customer-facing services or systems. So that is a huge plus. Like none of us were affected at all. It was just everything on the back end. But like you said, karma in a way, but not necessarily karma. It's just like no one is really protected. It can happen to anybody at any given moment. Because obviously we cover PlayStation every single time they get hacked. Every single time.
And they're bigger than Microsoft in a lot of gamings for years and years and years. And we were like, why are you getting hacked all the time? Well, when you're dealing with 100 attempts a second, one's going to get through. Whereas Microsoft is like, oh, we finally got hit because they're becoming the new big kid on the block.
Yeah. Especially with PlayStation kind of shaky and Embracer Group kind of shaky. That's for sure. Next up, though, was in regards to Xbox news that Xbox games from Microsoft Store and Game Pass are now available on Boosteroid. That was part of the whole like Activision Blizzard like deal. They had to sign 10-year contracts with a bunch of other people, and this is one of them. More games are coming to this platform. Deathloop, Dishonored 1 and 2, Gears 5, Gears Tactic, Ghostwire Tokyo, Pentiment, and much more are on the way as well. So shout out to them. More people get to play more amazing games, and I just love what Xbox is doing. They're like basically trying to make it so like there's more like you could play games anywhere you want, however you want, and just everybody
could want people to play games.
Right.
If they can get people onto Game Pass, they get money. So like the thing is, if they can reach somebody who's like, oh, I can only play on my phone. Cool, we got you. Game Pass will support you. That's the thing we're struggling to see everywhere is like you just want to get your games out everywhere. And like we're seeing it now with Sony. Sony's like, maybe we should put our games on every platform.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, maybe you should.
So we'll see. And then last up here is this is another great news here. 600 Q&A workers over at Activision have formed the largest gaming union, period. So that's great for them that they're finally able to get that, especially obviously dealing with what they have been dealing with over the past few years. Hopefully Microsoft can help clean house, which seems like they have been, but being able to have that safety blanket, that security, like having that union is really important, especially in this kind of industry. Moving on though, they had two announcements in regards to hardware actually. First one up was actually a bit of a surprise because Roger, obviously we know that they do a lot of like collaborations, like they make these special edition consoles, but the only way that you can get them is through sweepstakes. Like they're not selling the console. But this one, they were like, we're going to sell this one. And this one is $700 and exclusive through Best Buy, and you got to get on the Best Buy Drops mobile app or whatever to get it. This happened the other day on the 7th, so I'm pretty sure it's no longer available. but I did want to showcase it to everybody else because we were just talking about SpongeBob, funny enough, earlier in the show, and they have a SpongeBob Xbox Series X, both console and controller, for $700. I'm like, out of all of the special consoles that you've made, why did we settle on the SpongeBob one being sold? Oh man. So that is that one. Next up here, where I'm actually excited because obviously I collect a lot of their controllers. I have one sitting right here in front of me that I was just playing Halo with. But with the Fallout TV show coming out, next month? We're actually about a month away. They just announced that collection, that the culmination of all of the games available for PC. They were like, how about we make a controller too? And this is one that's exclusive basically to the design lab, so you have to create your own. It's none of them being sold in stores. The unfortunate
It looks good.
It looks badass. And like, I don't know, dude. I think the one with the yellow just fits perfectly with the blue bumpers. Like that is just screaming Fallout to me.
I mean, the dude's color is literally gold.
Blue and yellow.
Blue and gold.
But I know you're a green fan. Like, would you go for the green? Or are you customizing a different way? Or are you liking the blue and the gold kind of look?
I don't know. It really all depends on what I do that day. But like, even I look at that and I'm like, it's a nice controller right there.
Yeah. You can do it over on the Design Labs. I think it's $89. Here's a much bigger image of the controller, like all the different versions of the guy. It's pretty fucking dope, honestly. But yeah, design it over there on the Design Labs and have your own special Fallout controller when the show drops. I actually might have to do it. That might be the first design controller I do. Well, we'll see. Yeah, the Fallout MTG. Because I saw it when I was at Card Stadium. I was like, that shit's badass. Like, I would buy it. But I'm looking forward to the Assassin's Creed one. Next up, though, for Xbox is their services. They did announce Game Pass editions. Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun is available now on cloud, console, and PC. Paw Patrol World is also available now on cloud, console, and PC. It's pretty cool to see that they're bringing a lot of like family-oriented games because like we got Bluey, now we got Paw Patrol. Like those are two big-time games for like
they got a bunch
kids.
of games ready for you, Vic.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's crazy. Like my daughter loves to watch Paw Patrol. I could probably throw this game on, play it, and beat it, and count it as a game beat this year, while my daughter gets to enjoy like as if she was watching Paw Patrol. So I actually might have to give this a go. This is a surprise announcement. It was more or less like shadow dropped, but it not dropped because it comes out tomorrow. But because this wasn't a part of like the official updated March announcements, this one's like completely separate. And NBA 2K24 is coming to cloud and console tomorrow. So really excited because I was actually thinking about buying like the game. It's like on sale for like $20 or whatever, just to turn my mind off or play with some of my friends that have it. But now I don't gotta spend money. Don't gotta spend money, and the new one don't come out for another 6 months. So I get another half a year of the game and for free, basically. Why not? This episode might as well just have been named SpongeBob at this point because SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, available on cloud, console, and PC, comes out on March 12th. But the heavy hitter of the games coming to Game Pass has to be Control, the Ultimate Edition, because this includes like all of the DLC.
Everything.
Coming out on March 13th. This is like one of the greatest games, like, period. Like, this was Game of the Year back in 2019 or 2018 or something like that. One of my all-time favorite games. If you have not played Control, this is your time to play Control. If you love Alan Wake, it ties into that same universe. Go check out Control. Next up, we got No More Heroes 3 coming to cloud, console, and PC on March 14th. Then the next game that a lot of people were saying do not sleep on, even though it is another farming simulator type game, is Lightyear Frontier. It will enter game preview for cloud, PC, and Xbox Series S and X on March 19th. Basically a farming simulator on like alien worlds, and you're like in this mech suit, and it's a pretty cool concept. I love the color scheme of it because it's very vibrant, very bold. Seems pretty cool. Might give this a go, but it's a farming sim. There's only so much you can do.
I mean, there's probably more to it that we're sleeping on right now.
For sure. I see it all over. A lot of people are like, do not sleep on this game. A lot of people that actually got to play this game in like the preview state before the game preview. So yeah. But last but not least, MLB The Show 2024 coming to cloud and console on March 19th. This is a once PlayStation exclusive coming to Game Pass day one for like the 5th year in a row now. So shout out to Xbox for making a deal with MLB to make this happen. Game Pass departures though on March 15th, Hard Space, Shipbreaker, and Shredders. 2 games that I actually did check out. Hard Space Shipbreakers, you literally just break ships apart while you're in space. Pretty cool concept, but very tedious. Very, very tedious. I don't recommend playing it at all. But the other one, Shredders, was a lot of fun. I remember when this came to Game Pass day one, and it was pretty cool because I have not played a snowboarding game in such a long time, and this was like a quick hop in, hop out, arcade style like snowboarding game. A lot of fun. So if you have not checked it out, make sure you do so before it leaves the service here on the 15th. If not, buy it right now because it's 20% off with your Game Pass subscription. Man, a lot of Xbox news, man.
So much Xbox news, dude. I'm over here sleeping.
Yeah,
but let's not forget the fact that you still have more.
Yes, we're not done here. Now we're talking about games related from Xbox. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Season 2 Reloaded was announced. Just a quick overview. There's a new 6v6 map called Das Haus Remastered. This is from Call of Duty Vanguard. New modes, Bounty and Juggermosh, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. New weapons, the SOA Subverter Battle Rifle and the Soul Render Melee Weapon, which is like a sword. New store offerings, new weekly challenges, new aftermarket parts, new events. Vortex DK's Realm returns. And this time they're adding 2 new maps to it, Skid Row and Airborne, which are like just different variations of maps that already exist. So obviously you got Skid Row is now Skid Row, which is more of like a post-apocalyptic setting. It's more in line with the Walking Dead crossover that they have done. Airborne is like a infected, like spore, like alien kind of look to Terminal. So it's pretty cool there. Then for zombies, you get a new story mission, Dark Ether Rifts, Battle Warlord Kiers, and new schematics. And then for Warzone, you got the research vessel mobile point of interest for Fortune's Keep, new kill streak, the Bunker Buster, which is pretty cool. It's like they drop a bomb, it goes like through the entire building, and then it drops gas inside the building, so it clears that shit out. And then a new field upgrade, which is the PDS, which is like that portable, like I forget what it stands for, but it's a little like thing you throw in front of you. If you're in the gas, it clears out the gas around you in that little area, so it's pretty cool. But I did want to cover the new mode Juggermosh because it kind of stood out to you because of the new content that's coming out with this game. Is you could basically be a space marine from Warhammer if like in this game mode, like because you could buy like bundles and it comes with that. And like as you're playing a Juggernaut, you can look like you're a space marine, and they got a bunch of other ones coming as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. There's a lot of 40K crossovers, Dune crossovers right now as well. Call of Duty is becoming the new Fortnite, honestly.
Becoming,
right?
You mean is
right? Obviously, they got the new crossover King Kong with the new movie coming out. So yeah, man, a lot going on in Call of Duty world. But Roger, that is finally the end of the Xbox news I got for you this week. PlayStation, though, is not that long, but they actually got some good shit going on and maybe some crazy shit.
Honestly, why'd you start with that? Don't phrase it that way and then give me all bad news to tell people, dude. Like, my man's like, they got some great news. So some PS5 owners have lost access to games as digital purchases. Thanks, Vic. Now I sound like the asshole. Damn. And then, so due to a bug, a bunch of people lost a ton of their digital purchases on PS5, which is like horrible. Yeah. And then Square Enix is a little troubled here because they're wondering if PlayStation is still the console to release on anymore for them. Because after looking at sales, Final Fantasy VII Remake only got 700,000 people to buy it. And then Final Fantasy 16 only had 336,000. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth only had 262,000 people as of right now. So the question is really, is it the right place to be putting your content on, or is there a better marketplace at this point?
Yeah, I just think like they gotta like Square and I think they're moving towards it, but like they gotta get away from the whole platform exclusive. Like bring your games to all platforms.
Even Sony's doing it now. Like take for a moment that Sony's like, hey, Ghost of Tsushima, we're actually dropping this on the PC. Like we're gonna put it out on Steam on May 16th, and it is currently one of the highest purchased game, like one of the top purchased games on Steam right now.
I think it's 13th right now. Last time I saw it,
It went up to like 5th.
Okay, yeah.
After I posted the article to you, it jumped to 5th, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! Like this shit's going flying off the shelves." But
just
this
real
is
quick, we're talking about
by...
charts on PlayStation. The number one selling game, or like pre-ordered game right now on PlayStation, is Sea of Thieves. Just wanted to point that out.
No, I was talking about on Steam.
I'm talking about on PlayStation since we're talking about them.
Yeah, and it's funny to me that like these people who only have a PlayStation, they're gonna want to get the game that's finally coming to their console. Yes, but like let's look at what happens when PlayStation actually puts their quality games on PC. They sell like fucking hotcakes, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're gonna get the director's cut. It's going to have the Ica Island. It's going to have Legends mode unlocked right from the beginning. You can unlock frame rates. So you can play it as fast as you want. It has ultra wide support. So you can support three monitors, 16:9 resolutions side by side. And it supports that. It does DLS3, FSR3, and DLAA, as well as FSR3 native AA. The DualSense, you also get haptic feedback if you connect your DualSense controller. Steam knows you have it. Mm-hmm. Steam will then actually work with all the full haptic feedback, including the button pull-in. The fact that the buttons themselves, the triggers, will actually give you resistance. Mm-hmm. So, like, this was a great game. I played this game. I loved this game. It's one
of the games I'm super excited to eventually check out. Because funny enough, like I collect some like the art of books, like for like, different games and stuff, and one of them I do have is the Ghost of Tsushima, because like the aesthetic, the game just looks really fucking good, but it only came to PlayStation, but now it's coming to PC. This might be my chance to finally fucking play this shit.
And it's good. Like it's a super good game, and like for you to be able to finally just play it on the PC would be awesome.
Yeah.
Not to mention, let's talk about another thing that finally, you know, PlayStation wisened up and they're like, yeah, put it on PC. Helldivers 2. This game is literally breaking the internet lately. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's playing it for some reason. Why? I don't know. Because they actually care about good development and they want to make sure a game feels playable. Like they're already releasing their first big major like expansion, which has new weapons, new armor, and a bunch of, I think there's also a new what is it called? The ability to call stuff from the sky.
Yeah,
your kits. They're also releasing giant mech suits coming soon. Like,
yeah. Did you see how they did that? Like, they chose a planet, and they were like, "Hey, you need to liberate this planet because they are like the factory of these mechs. If you want to use these mechs, you got to collectively do this community event to then unlock it."
Everyone's like, "Yeah, let's fucking go!"
Yeah, like that was badass. So like that's available, and then like some of the new updates too is like the environmental things that are going to happen, like meteor showers and like fire tornadoes, and like the world is going to be like alive. Like what they're doing in this game,
world's going to shit all the time.
Like the idea of this game is really fucking badass, and like a lot of people are like, yeah, Helldivers is doing great, but this could also be the birth of like a new genre of games. Like, because you think about like when PUBG first came out, and that was like the first like battle royale, and then it transitioned to like all of these type of battle royales. Helldivers 2 is setting that up to have that certain kind of feel as like a new genre.
It's not a new genre, guys. You've been sleeping for years. There's a game called PlanetSide, and this is just PlanetSide with ODST on over the top, like Firefight. This is just the brainchild of two different genres. That's all it is.
Yeah.
We've had these genres. Like, I played PlanetSide 2, where the game was like, oh, hey, the community, here's a planet, y'all have to fight for control of it and fight stuff back. But now instead of fighting against other players, you're collectively working with other players. And it's not a giant MMO, yes, but like, this isn't the first, but this is definitely, I think, going to put the spotlight on a niche genre that is no longer going to be niche.
Right. And I'm for it, because like, the concept and the ideas that are going in Helldivers, and like I like what the developers even said, like we're never going to add PvP because we don't want to make the game toxic. Like we want we want it to feel like a collective like coming together kind of game. Like we are working as a community, and like what Scott said in the one episode, like you can see basically other fights happening like on the other side of the planet, like when they call on that like the nuke or whatever, like the big missiles and shit. You're like, that's real life. Like that's really happening right now in someone else's game.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely dope.
And I'm sitting here in the freaking window, just watching the rain fall. Like, wish I could play. And I'm like, man, I'm really thinking about it. But I'm over here like also playing Halo all the time, and I'm like,
You got a special appearance from my daughter with the clean.
Oh, welcome. What's your opinion on Helldivers?
What's your opinion on Helldivers, Kay? You don't know much
Silence.
about it. That's all right.
Silence. That is my opinion too.
All right, man.
But
last PlayStation topic here.
Last PlayStation topic. Another PlayStation game that came to PC that did something silly. Spider-Man 2 recently, with their newest update, accidentally left the debug menu in the game. If you didn't update your copy of Spider-Man 2, don't, because now you can just break the game with your debug menu and literally just do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it up on screen. Like people were literally just like, how do you leave this in the fucking game? Like how? Like I'm just flabbergasted. I'm almost at the point where like they just don't give a fuck anymore, especially with Spider-Man. Because like think about it, like the issues they were having like with the cube and all the other issues that Spider-Man was dealing with. They're just like, oh well.
Oops. Oops.
I know Marvel's over like, these guys got one more fucking time to mess up, and that Wolverine game is gone, guys.
It is just so silly, dude. It is so fucking silly.
But the bad news does not end there, Roger.
Oh man!
What did you say to me?
You give me more bad news.
What did you say to me at the wedding yesterday? He said it feels great to deliver bad news to so many people.
I mean, and then you're just like, Roger, let me give you all the bad news topics this week. All right, so let's talk about another bad news bears here. Warner Brother Games aims to increase their focus on free-to-play and live service games. Why? Why?
Yeah,
wait. Let me continue to the next topic here. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. PlayStation is issuing refunds now, just like they did for Cyberpunk 2077. And Warner Brothers is over here like, print more. Why?
Yeah. It's definitely been really interesting because like, let's look at, like I said, one of their really big successes last year, Hogwarts Legacy. A single-player focused game, not a games as a service in any bit, was the number one selling game. And honestly, I think it's a top 10. It's the number one selling game in like the last like 10 years or whatever. Like it's insane. But then you release Kill the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and it's like one of the worst games ever fucking released. And they're like, we need more of that.
I need more of that in my life.
What? Like who? I don't get it. I really don't. Like they're really chasing that money gun that they really, really want from these live services.
How much did it cost them for the IP for Harry Potter? Like, did they make like? Somebody said this the other day. Like, I was on fucking Reddit, and this business student, because they're as dumb as bricks, joined the Reddit chat or the Reddit the topic I was on, and they were like, this game that made billions of dollars wasn't a success because it didn't make as much profit, percentage-wise as another thing. And I was like, eat my ass, bro. What? What are you smoking, bro?
I'm sure the IP didn't cost them a ton, honestly. I mean, they own that IP.
Yeah, but they still have to pay royalties.
Right. But it depends on the contract, like, what's owned. Like, I don't know how it works with, like, how much money has to go to like J.K. Rowling or however that shit works, but I'm sure it wasn't that much. But yeah, that's not it though from WB, because this is another.
And then Warner Brothers decided, since they own Adult Swim Games, that they are divesting from it, and they're going to try to get rid of Adult Swim Games. They're just getting rid of them all of them. Like they're delisting them from everywhere. So these developers who put blood, sweat, and tears into these games. Too bad, so sad.
Right.
Sorry.
And did you see the one? Apparently, there's one of the games that like one of the developers actually owns the rights to the game, and Warner Brothers won't like give him like the full control of it or something like that. And they're like, nope, see you later, buddy. And so I'm
Have
like
a good
that.
one.
Like
Bye.
I'm pretty sure like WB will be in the industry news here soon for a lawsuit, Guy versus Warner Brothers.
Guy versus Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Dude's name is Guy.
All right, man. Moving on here to our next topic here. We only got two more here, and these ones should be relatively quick. But Dune, obviously, the new movie just came out. It's doing really well. They're calling it like a masterpiece for cinema masterpiece. Apparently, I really, really want to go check it out. But they announced a new game, open world MMO survival game, and it's called Dune Awakening. I think we've already actually had an announcement. This is more of like a more information. Here's some kind of like gameplay for it. So I'm gonna get this trailer up here on screen. It looks pretty cool. I'm really curious to see how it really plays out, but I'm for it, man. Like, I love the Dune universe. It seems really cool, but like making this like an MMO survival game, like this could actually work out really well.
Facts.
I'm gonna skip through this because I want to get to the information and like obviously you got like your base building. There's like settlements that you can build. You know, like all the technology is there. It looks really
It looks
fucking
cool. It looks fucking
and then
cool.
you could apparently have massive battles, I guess. Like, who knows how
And
that shit's gonna
like,
play?
is it gonna be a multiplayer or a single player game?
Well, it's an MMO
Yeah,
survival game, so it's a
yeah, yeah.
massively multiplayer
So
online.
like, what is the
Open
core
world.
concept gonna be though?
Right.
That's what I mean. Like, are you sitting there and you're gonna be playing with a bunch of your friends, or like, are there gonna be these giant, massive single player missions? Was that PvP or PvE? What's going on here?
Right. So just some quick like notes here. It says combines the survival genre with the open world MMO. Begin your journey on Araxis. You can create a character. Obviously, you learn skills and abilities from Mentats and Bean Gesserit. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that shit terribly. Declare your loyalties by what you wear. Exploring rolling dunes and bustling villages.
Okay, so you probably join the factions, whether it be Arrakis,
Yeah, the
or
different
you
houses.
join. Yeah.
Yeah. Ever changing world like storms after the landscape and can destroy player built outposts. Which is actually pretty interesting because like you imagine if like you build like this massive, really nice outpost area, and then like
Vic,
a world event
this
goes.
is gonna flop. This shit's gonna flop because let's be honest here, we have the whole game called, I don't know, Rust, where
Yeah.
like everyone fucks everyone else over. Like,
Right.
dudes will spend hours and hours and hours only to lose everything they've ever built, loved, and dreamed of having.
Yeah, but Rust is huge though. Rust is a pretty big game. A lot of people play it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find water and extract it and manage your still suit. Third-person combat with melee, ranged, and abilities. Infantry, ground, and air vehicles. Sandworms are in the game. They cannot be killed, but must be avoided. Search for spice, which can then be sold or used to expand your potential at the cost of addiction. Create a guild and grow it into the house miner. Create a base from a variety of distinct styles. Cooperatively build bases with friends. Craft weapons, armor, vehicles, attachments, modifications, and much more. Release date is to be announced, but closed betas are already in progress. So this game has a lot of ambition, like a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
If this works, like, then this game really could be really that game. But then it could be like this game has this much hype and it does not live up to it, you know. So only time will tell. I'm not usually big into survival games, but this could be one that I'm like, this is it.
You're
guys.
not into MMOs.
Yeah, or that either. Yeah.
You're not an MMO guy, so like,
Maybe
I'm
this
already
is my
like,
introduction.
nah, he's probably
Maybe it's
I
my
don't see it.
introduction. No,
I don't see it. I don't see it.
it could be the IP that does it. But you know, Roger, we talked about this this IP earlier though. Temtem had some interesting news. Carl, we had the baby
Carl.
appearances.
Carl. So let's talk about Temtem before we finish out here. So we were talking about the games that all are about capturing monsters and shit like that. Well, Temtem made a game and they're done. Temtem created Temtem, a MMO where you go around collecting monsters, but it's an MMO. It was like a Pokemon MMO. They said in an open letter, we can't continue with this model anymore. We just don't have the staff for it. They're pretty much done. So they're going to stop the game. It's going to still be playable, but there won't be any more microtransactions. So they're pulling the store, and then there is no further development going into the game.
Sheesh. So the
It's
game,
just, dude, we have too many live service and MMOs. If you can't make it, you break. Like, let's be honest. Would you rather play Temtem or Helldivers 2?
Helldivers too.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you've only got so much space in the ecosystem. Like, when's the last time we talked about Pal World?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I know the game's still big. But I
It
think
is. You say that, but like, is it Helldivers too big?
no, not right now. I'm sure the
Yeah.
Helldivers will probably dive pretty hard too.
hmm But that's what I'm getting at. You know, we're in an ecosystem where it's moving fast. Games are moving super super fucking fast, and I don't see a lot of these games sticking around.
Yeah, it is crazy to see. I'm looking up some stats. Power World only has 64,000 people playing right now. They had 171,000 in the last 24 hours. Obviously, it had its peak of over 2 million. Um, I'm trying to
That's
get
that's a big drop from 2 mil though, right? Like what's Helldivers at?
yeah, I'm looking them up right now as we speak. They have 321,000 in game. They had a peak of 411,000 24 hours ago, and they had an all time of only 458,000. And I say only because of how World had 2 million, but 458,000 is still a lot of fucking players.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty dope to see both games succeeding, and they're completely two drastic games, and they're both AA games, which is
Yeah.
even better. They're not these massive
And that's
AAA
the thing.
games.
Why is AA just destroying AAA every day, every fucking day?
Yeah.
It's just
silly.
it's rough to see that AAA is just so blinded by corporate greed.
You got
It
it.
is dumbass corporations that don't know, a pit from the hole in the ass, like
Yeah, because interesting enough, this is actually one of our gaming updates posts that's going to go up tomorrow on all of our socials, but I'll put it here. They released some stats from Warner Brothers. Batman Arkham City has officially sold over 12 million copies and made over $600 million just in that first year of launch back in 2011. But then it goes on to talk about how like Warner Brothers wants to move on to free to play and games as a service, and it's just in my post it even says corporate greed at its finest. Like clearly we see the success of how single player games can rock. Hogwarts Legacy, the Batman Arkham trilogy, massively successful games, but now they want to transition to that, and it's all for corporate greed because they see all these other games that are games as a service, and it's basically printing money for them. They want that.
Well, not for them, for other people.
Right. Well, other developers is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But they want that same. They want the same shit, but they're not going to get it.
Yeah, they're like, we want to be that corporate success all the time, and it's like, okay, cool. Then do something good, like actually make something worthwhile play, like make something that I want to play,
right?
Please,
yeah.
Like for once,
just for once. But all right, dude, that is all of the gaming news that we got this week. We do want to shout out everyone who did come through and check us out live today here on Twitch, and anyone who does check us out later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you listen at. We do appreciate all the love and support, for sure. But Roger, where can the community find you at?
Hey, you'll be finding me on Halo here in a few minutes, but Discord is where I'm always at. If you're looking to play, looking to talk, we're on Discord. Join us anytime.
And of course, you can check me out at Twitter at MrNeverChillin_. Threads is Mr. Never Chillin'. Xbox is XNeverSpaceChillin'. If you own a game, party up, hit me up there. Facebook is Vic Brubacher for any questions, concerns, or if you want to come on the show, slide in the DMs there. I do stream over on my Twitch at twitch.tv/Mr. Never Chillin', where I'm still deciding what game I'm going to be playing next. I think it is going to be Mirror's Edge Catalyst is going to be my next one. Interesting enough. It's a game I saw on Game Pass that I've never played, and I wanted to check it out. Other games I'm going to be checking out is maybe As Dusk Falls, It Takes Two, Life is Strange. There's a bunch of games that are on my list that I'm really eager to finally give it a go. But make sure you tune into my stream because I am approaching my 100,000 gamer score. I'm about 600 gamer score away, so could happen anytime. So make sure you come through and check out those streams and celebrate with me when it does happen. But we do want to thank everyone again, and until next week, peace.
Press Start Podcast.